is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is real.
No, it ain't. Can you hear me?
This is not a drill.
Sounding fine. Can you hear me?
This is not a drill.
No, it ain't. Let me hear you say.
This is not a drill. This is real.
This is the real thing.
And that is Aloe Black. That is Aloe Black who made, this is a custom song, made this. When we launched This Is Not a Drill, Aloe Black said, I got a theme song for you. And he made this and gifted this to Black Lives Matter Grassroots. Grateful for him. And if you love Aloe Black the way I love Aloe Black, guess where you can see Aloe Black? For free next Sunday.
Please tell me.
Black women are divine. Black women are divine. Every single year, Aloe comes out to celebrate the beauty and divinity of Black women with us in Norman Houston Park. And we will be at Norman Houston Park, inshallah, next Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll be there celebrating the beauty and divinity and just awesomeness of Black women and girls. And we invite everyone, if you are a Black woman or girl, come out to Norman Houston Park. That's the park at the top of the hill, Stocker and La Brea. Come out and get free massages, get free lunch catered by Harold and Bells, get some free art from Aloe Black, and so many others will be performing. And it, for me, is the best day of the year. It's just delightful. It's just
she don't
joy.
bring out that word
I
a
don't
lot.
ever say the word delightful, but I need it. It's a nurturing of the soul. Breonna Taylor's mom and auntie will be there. Her auntie joins every year, but this will be the first year that her mom is joining. So Sister Tamika Palmer is coming, and so it'll actually be my first time meeting her in person.
That's amazing.
Even
I'm
though
glad
we're
she's
close
coming.
with her sister Bianca, right? I'm so grateful that she's able to make it, and we're going to give her some extra love this Sunday. So that's next Sunday, March 15th. We'll be at the park, and the rules are for Black women: you cannot work and you cannot pay for anything. Everything is free for Black women and girls. Brothers, if you want to volunteer, we welcome you. Non-Black women, people who are not Black women, you're welcome to come bring flowers, bring candles, bring love, volunteer, bring flats of water, all of those things. You're welcome to come volunteer and pour love into Black women. And we dub this whole month Black Women Are Divine Month. And so we also encourage you to think about the Black women in your life, the Black women that you work with, the Black women neighbors that you have, your mama. Tandiwe always rolls their eyes when I say this. Clean your mama's kitchen. Clean your mama's kitchen.
Oh, my gosh.
Cook your mother a meal. You're a great cook, Tandiwe. Cook your mother a meal. But also you need to be celebrated, right? And so we celebrate all Black women and girls this month. And I'm just going to tell a quick story that when Breonna Taylor was killed, for me, the words of Zora Neale Hurston visited. And she once said, our anthropologist, our scholar, our writer, beautiful, beautiful soul, she said, sometimes I believe that Black women are the mules of the world. And, as quickly as that thought came, those words came, another thought came, and I call it a visitation from God. And God said to me, no, Black women, they might make you into mules, try to make you into mules, but Black women are divine. And so Black Women Are Divine came in honor of Breonna Taylor, who they tried to make into a mule, who they tried to steal her joy and light as she slept. We know on March 13th of 2020, Breonna was sleeping when police came in and shot her dead as she was sleeping in her bed. And we reclaim Breonna's light and the light of Dr. Linda Davis and the light that was Waukesha Wilson and the light that was Shailene Graves and Riddell Jones. We reclaim those lights. We reclaim the light and the power of Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. We reclaim the light and the power of Mama Ella Baker. We reclaim those lights and we ignite the lights in our own selves, in our own sisters, in our own mothers, in our own grandmothers and daughters and nieces. And we say Black women are divine. So join us next Sunday, March 15th, and give somebody an honoring. Honor someone with a flower, a card, a gesture of love that recognizes their divinity. So happy Black Women Are Divine Month. I didn't even introduce myself yet. My name is Melina Abdullah. I am a professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State LA. I'm a social justice unionist with the California Faculty Association, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and Black Lives Matter Grassroots, where I'm also director, and most importantly, I am Amara Amen, and this one right here, Tandiwe's mama.
I'm like, you can't put me last when I'm
I
first.
put you last because you're
That's
here.
crazy.
I wanted to give you more. I wanted to give you extra love.
Okay.
Extra love.
Hi, guys.
And my co-host is the one sitting across from me, my firstborn baby, my firstborn child.
Okay.
You said I didn't give you enough. Should I keep
No.
going? The loving one.
Oh, my gosh. Everyone,
My
I'm so sorry for what is
wonderful,
happening.
my wonderful, loving one, my beloved Tandiwe Abdullah. Tandiwe is co-founder of Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard, and they're our chapter coordinator for Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. Thank you for joining us on Black Lives Matters. This is not a drill. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m., where we bring to you on the ground updates, campaigns, news, challenges, and victories from the front lines. Before we get into it, though, let's ground ourselves with our land, labor, and life acknowledgement, recognizing that this country is a terrible imperialist colonial regime that is built on the stolen land of indigenous people by the stolen labor and lives of our African ancestors. And we begin by taking a deep breath in and breathe out. The land which we inhabit in what is now known as Los Angeles is physically situated in the original ancestral homelands of the Tongva, Quiche, Chumash, and Gabrielino people. We pay respect to the Tongva, Quiche, Chumash, Gabrielino, and all indigenous people, past, present, and future, and their continuing presence in the homeland and throughout their historical diaspora. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. We pay homage to those who were stolen from Africa, placed in bondage, falsely named as chattel, and forced into labor, who were called slaves, but never submitted as such, who have always been fully human, with an unbroken connection to the divine and to each other. We honor our African ancestors for the still unpaid labor which built what is now the Americas. And a last deep breath in, and breathe out. To both our indigenous and African forebears, we commit to the continued struggle for liberation and reparations, for it is only through freedom and justice that we truly give honor. Ashe. And so on today's show, I mentioned that this is a settler colonial regime. This is an imperialist regime, and they have ratcheted up their imperialism under the devil that's in the White House, who eats people. I know that sounds so crazy every time it comes out my mouth. He eats people. All the people in the Epstein files be eating people. And let me say this, they're not the first white settler colonialists colonizers to eat people.
Or
What
have
happened?
little trafficking rings, or have gladiator fights, or have all of the horrible things that we think no one has ever come up with before.
They've been doing it all this time. It's
Right.
just this is the first time it's been done to people that we know of that are not black or not indigenous, right? What do you think happened? Read about it. What do you think happened to Nat Turner's body? They put his head on a stake. What did they do with the rest of his body? They ate it.
Yeah.
They ate it. This historical fact. It's historical fact. That when
rendered
they
his fat down. They rendered his fat into cooking fat.
yes,
They ate. It was horrible.
when they would lynch our forefathers. This is after slavery, because the peak of lynching actually happened after Reconstruction.
Right.
When they cut up those body parts, what do you think they did with those body parts? They have been eating people.
They're still finding like antique chairs with enslaved people's hair in them, right?
With their skin being used as leather.
Mm-hmm.
So, we want to lift up what this country is and the worldwide plague that is white settler colonialism and imperialism.
Right.
And we have to be very clear that they are ravaging the earth. And we're going to talk about how the war on Iran plays into this, plays into global imperialism and the devilish partnership between the United States and Israel. And we're going to explore that conversation with Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation and John Parker of the Harriet Tubman Center. For a More Than a Hashtag conversation, we'll be joined by our Justice Mom, Sister Arlene Robertson, the mother of Daviri Robertson, who was 39 years old when he was shot and killed by Jefferson Parish, Texas sheriffs in March of 2019, and we'll talk with her. And before we get into any of that, we'll dive into this week's headlines. I know some of you all are going, wait, they ate people. If you want to have a conversation about this, you're always invited in. Give us a call at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Coming back with headlines and Tandiwe Abdullah.
Not a drill continues when we come forward.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The midterm elections are upon us. It is voting season once again. Common Cause's motto is fighting for the democracy we deserve. In service of that goal, Common Cause puts its state and national policy expertise, massive network of grassroots supporters, and nonpartisan approach into action to strengthen our democracy against the challenges we face today. They work at every level of government on priorities that impact each of our lives, like defending the right to vote, limiting big money's influence on our elections, holding public officials accountable, and more. Common Cause is a nonpartisan grassroots organization dedicated to upholding the core values of American democracy. They seek to empower all people to make their voices heard in the political process. This election may be the most important one ever. If you'd like to make a donation or volunteer in service to the Constitution, please visit commoncause.org. That's commoncause.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
All the women who
Women's March, we're turning up the volume on the women who changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable, all month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we're your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
BLM's This Is Not a Drill continues right now.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a tow truck repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Standing on the front stoop,
and that's Grandmaster Melly Mel. I am Doc Melly Mel.
Do you feel proud of yourself for
I
that?
do feel proud of myself, and I feel grateful to Sim for playing this. You grew up listening to this.
I did.
Yes. Yeah, that's real hip-hop. Real hop hip-hop. My name is Melina Abdullah. You're listening to This Is Not a Drill. We are in the midst of Black Women Are Divine Month, so I'm here with my divine black child, Tandiwe Abdullah, who is going to jump into these headlines. What we got, Tandiwe?
Okay, so on Saturday, Black Lives Matter LA gathered at the Crenshaw Mall to celebrate 5 years of the Black Student Achievement Plan, a victory organized by the youth of Students Deserve, BLM LA, COCO, ACLU, SJLI, and many other partners, as well as adult allies, organizers, community members, and educators. BSAP continues to provide Black youth with the support necessary to succeed in LAUSD today, and LAUSD just committed a $50 million boost for the BSAP program in the 2025 and 2026 school year. This was really fun for me.
Why was it fun for you, Tandiwe Abdullah?
Because first of all, as an organizer, you are sometimes so used to fighting that you just never even imagine like what the transformation you're fighting for can look like. And I spent my entire high school like career, I don't know, people say that, my entire high school career fighting against anti-Black policies within LAUSD and fighting to get a program like this developed for our Black students. And I'd never thought, because when I was an LAUSD student, I felt so ignored, so unconsidered, so unsupported. So the thought of there being a program specifically meant to support Black students, it was unfathomable to me. And now when I talk to these new students who get to have BSAP in their schools, it seems like a completely different district than the one that I went to school in. And I'm so grateful that that is their reality, even though it wasn't my reality, and that they are continuing to get the funding that they need to grow and expand this program and the support that they need to thrive.
Tandiwe, where did BSAP come from?
It came from me and some other youth organizers. Shout out Marche, shout out Kalila, Sashay, shout out
I want to lift
Dr.
up
Mr. Lippy Klein. Dr. Lippy Klein?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to lift up that you all saw something in the schools that you didn't like, and you actually started this work as a middle schooler. I want to go back to you sitting on that stage at Dorsey High School as a middle schooler with Aaron and Savannah and others, and saying, we need to make Black Lives Matter in schools.
Yeah.
We have to make Black Lives Matter in schools. And you all visioned things. And first, you ended the so-called random searches.
Right.
Next, you ended pepper spray in schools.
Mm-hmm.
Then you focused on getting cops off campus and investing. You had an abolitionist lens. And you all won. And your sister was a part of it. Amara Keone was a part of it. And you won. And you weren't there when it went into place, but Amara was.
Right.
And it's the reason why Amara is at Clark University right now. Right? It's the reason why Amen has supports right now. And so I just want to say how honored I am to be your mom, but also to be your comrade and the comrade of Marche and the comrade of Kalila. And what vision. I could tell a million stories, but we have more headlines. I have a million stories, but let's all take inspiration. We all take such inspiration from our young people who are the most audacious and visionary and courageous among us. Also, thank you to Joseph Williams.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm about to start crying. Thank you to Joseph Williams of Students Deserve.
Yes.
Thank you for committing yourself and loving these kids so fully and letting them lead and supporting them in the ways that they need support. It need to be supported to transform our schools. So debts of gratitude to Joseph and all of them at Students Deserve who've been carrying this and making it bigger and growing like the revolution
I never
continues.
would have thought, like, in my wildest dreams, that I would be able to see Students Deserve to grow to what it is now as a founding member.
Yeah.
I remember when we were meeting at the church, and we had a big pot of spaghetti, and that was our meal, and it was good. And we, you
were a little girl then.
I was very little, and I'm just so proud. Like, even when I think about my younger self, I'm like, I can't believe we did that. I'm inspired by that past version of me. And of us. So anyways, that gathering was really beautiful.
Really beautiful.
All of our partners were there, people who I haven't seen in a long time. And we spent a lot of time on this. So
that's okay. That's okay. Oh, let's go to another victory.
Oh,
what other victory?
Another victory on Thursday at City Hall. The LA Charter Reform Commission met to discuss police reform and accountability. Black Lives Matter LA organizers and allies gave public comment demanding better transparency and accountability from the murderous LAPD. Ultimately, the commission accepted and will be recommending the reforms advanced. The next Charter Reform Commission meeting will be this coming Tuesday, March 10 at 4 p.m. at City Hall in room 350.
And you were there too. Girl, you be in the streets, Tunde Way.
I know.
You were there. What happened?
Shoot. It was great. There's a lot of people I've realized who are being activated and becoming active participants in our democracy. And that's really what a democracy should be, right? If it's a functioning democracy, people need to be participating in it. And there needs to be more forums like this for people to express their opinion, for people to talk about what they want to see in their communities. And so I'm really pleased with the amount of, especially white people. I was talking with some of the allies who were in that Charter Reform Commission meeting. I'm surprised at the amount of white people. It was like probably their first time coming to City Hall and giving a comment like this. And, we're used to seeing our ragtag group of Black people, Skid Row organizers, Black and brown folks, right? But these were like white suburban folks, and they're like, we need to end the police, man. We need to defund the police and invest in social services, dude. And I was like, yeah, Matt,
You said
Ryan.
it was skater dudes.
I don't know. That's just like my only white people voice I can do well. There was like some PTA moms, and they were saying it too. They're like, and we have a problem. Well, that sounded a little too Black, but they're like, yeah, we have a problem when the white people can even see. And so I really was so inspired by that, like, cross-class solidarity, that even the people who the police are meant to protect and serve them and their wealth, they're like, no, the police are very corrupt. The police are hurting my neighbors, even though I can't see them because of spatial apartheid. I still care, right? That gave me a lot of hope. And just, yeah, it really warmed my heart. The dehumanization isn't working, right?
And shout out to the LA Black Worker Center, Jeremiah Gordon, for really, we need people that take on something as their primary thing. So Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, we do that with police commission meetings. We do that with targeting the district attorney. This Charter Reform Commission, the charter is like the city's constitution. And so for it to be being reformed, revised now, that is a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
And we just don't, as a volunteer organization, did not have the capacity to lead, but do have the capacity to participate.
Right.
So Jeremiah and the Black Worker Center have been leading. Really, really grateful to them for that. Grateful to Reverend Dr. James Thomas.
Yes.
Who is a commissioner and is speaking on behalf of the people. Will break quorum if stuff ain't going right. We'll walk out the room. It's really, really powerful. So make sure that you come again next Tuesday, March 10th, to stand up. When we come forward, we're going to pick up on the rest of these headlines. A lot of people have questions, so I'm getting texts. You can call in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. We're going to pick up on more of headlines when we come forward right here on This Is Not a Drill.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton.
Its first president of color, Dr. Shante Bolton, was officially
Hey, Sister Arlene.
ceremony on Thursday.
Representation matters. Oh, that's what it is.
So I'm trying to find a quiet place, but this is a gym, so it don't look like I can find a quiet place.
Okay, we're gonna go a little longer with these headlines. So we're gonna come to you in a few minutes. Do you want to look for more, look around more, or are you okay?
Can you hear the people talking in the background?
We can. It's gonna be all right though. It's fine.
All right, I'll stay here because the light is okay right here. So.
Okay. So give us just a few more minutes to get through these headlines, and then I'll come to you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, Hone.
They say time flies when you're having fun. The founding members cohort of The Art of Conversation is almost over. Hard to believe. It's been a joy sharing what I've discovered after nearly 40 years of conversations with presidents, cultural icons, and game changers in every field of human endeavor. If you missed the first cohort, the good news is that we're already planning the next one. Now, the seats will be limited, and those on our waiting list will receive exclusive early access and special discounts not available to the general public. So, if you are ready to transform the way you connect, lead, and build trust, do not hesitate. Go to TavishTalks.com and join the waiting list today. That's TavishTalks.com. The next cohort is coming. Make sure you are in the room. I'm Tavish Smiley, and I hope to see you there.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
One thank you. Yeah.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to BLM's This Is Not a Drill. Now, back to the conversation.
We like the breeze, float straight out of our lids. Them, they got booed by these Hard Rock Brooklyn kids. Us floor rush when they DJ booming classics. You dig the crew on the fattest hip-hop record. He tucks the kinks and sinks into the sounds. She frequents deep, fattest
My
joints
name
called
is
underground.
Melina Abdullah, and this is Not a Drill right here on KBLA Talk 1580. We're still in these headlines. We're going to go through a little more quickly with Tandiwe Abdullah. What we got left, Tandi?
So meet us in the streets every Wednesday at 4 p.m. in front of the Hall of Injustice for Black Lives Matter LA's weekly protest calling to end police associations and confront the district attorney who they fund and support. This past Wednesday, we continued our demand to prosecute Brian Palacios, who killed Keith Porter, and also demand that D.A. Hockman retract his motion to dismiss charges against the Torrance cops who murdered Christopher DeAndre Mitchell. That's the weekly Black Lives Matter LA protest every Wednesday at 4 p.m. at the Hall of Injustice located at 211 West Temple Street.
And thank you to Keith's family. Miss
Yes.
Tyler was there with us this week, and we're grateful to her for being out. We also want to uplift that we need you to continue to uplift Keith Porter's name. Grateful to Emma. I don't know if you all were watching those hearings with Kristi Noem, but if you were watching, there was somebody who disrupted the hearing and was arrested out of the hearing. It was someone named Emma who's took it upon herself as someone who lives in Washington, D.C., to go to the hearing with a picture of Keith Porter and Linda Davis, an ally, and hold up these photos and say it's anti-black that we're not saying the names Keith Porter and Dr. Linda Davis. And she yelled and yelled until she was removed and arrested and held for 36 hours. Thank you for doing that, Sister Emma.
That's amazing. Thank you, Emma. Mark your calendars for our Black Women Are Divine celebration next Sunday, March 15th at Norman Houston Park from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Uplifting Black women for a day of arts and healing for Black women in honor of Breonna Taylor. The day will be filled with food, laughter, dancing, flower crowns, gift exchanges, and a day to reclaim Black women's divinity. Everything is free for Black women. People who are not Black women are invited, but to volunteer, bring gifts, donate, and to honor Black women. Brianna's mother and aunt are scheduled to join us this year.
So come for free lunch catered by Harold and Bells. Come so that Aloe Black can sing to us.
Yep.
Come so we can line dance together. If you are fasting for Ramadan, we'll put your lunch aside for you, and you can eat it when we break fast. The rules are Black women are not working, and we are not paying for anything. Our queen of radio, Dominique DePrima, is hosting, and we are so, so grateful. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. God will be shining on us, inshallah. The weather looks perfect. 83 degrees is the forecast.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
And I just love seeing Black women happy, so I hope y'all enjoy it.
Yeah.
LAPD receives almost half of the general fund, and city council and the mayor continue to give them more money, all while essential services are being cut due to the large deficit. The Black Lives Matter LA-led People's Budget Coalition organizes a participatory budgeting process that allows the people to prioritize how we want our tax dollars to be spent in the city. We want to hear from you. Take and share the survey now online at peoplesbudgetla.com/survey. Cannot stress how important this is enough. This is going to be a model for how we reshape the city to be a truly democratic and equitable city. So please take that survey. This data is really important, and this structure, this model of participatory budgeting that we have led and created for folks is really important as a model especially as we're in charter reform right now.
That's right.
It's helping us uplift our demands for a more democratic process.
That's right. And there are some people who are in elective office who are beginning to incorporate this, right?
Yes.
Kenneth Mejia, before he was city controller, was part of our people's budget work.
Yep.
Right.
Those graphs look very familiar to me.
Very familiar.
Right.
Because we can read a pie chart, right? We know what a pie chart. So thank you for making it digestible. There are people on city council who are advancing people's budget. Ionesis Hernandez is advancing people's budget. There are candidates for office. Reverend Ray comes out of people's budget work.
Yes.
So this is hugely important. And like you said, it's a national model, peoplesbudgetla.com/survey. Take it now while you're listening to the show. And then also at Black Women Are Divine, we're going to have a freedom dreaming session that one of our leads on People's Budget is leading, Dr. Tabitha Jones-Jolivet. We're going to have Purple Table Talk. And we're going to talk about where do you want your tax dollars to go? How does that help to create the city that you imagine? So that's something else we'll be doing at Black Women Are Divine next Sunday, March 15th. peoplesbudgetla.com/survey, but also come participate in those conversations.
Right. And finally, this Sunday and every second Sunday of the month, come out to the Black Lives Matter LA monthly organizing meeting at 7 p.m. in the Center for Black Power, 3423 West 43rd Place in Africatown, aka Lamert Park. Open to all Black people, members, new folks, elders, and non-Black allies. Our meetings are closed to politicians, police, and media. That's the Black Lives Matter LA monthly organizing meeting every second Sunday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Center for Black Power, located at 3423 West 43rd Place, right here in Africatown, or what some folks call Lamert Park.
Well, what if it's breakfast time?
What?
What if it's breakfast time And you can't be in no meeting and it's breakfast time.
Yes, you can, because at our meeting, we always have good food. I'll make sure of that as the person.
What are we eating this week?
Don't get all scared. You know I do my job.
What we
My
got?
children never go hungry.
What are we eating? What we eating?
We are having Soul Good Catering, which is...
That sounds soul good.
Right? Sounds so good.
So we're going to have a full-on dinner? Not just dates.
Yes, we're going to be having a meal. So if you need to break your fast, if you need something substantial in your stomach, don't worry. We're going to have food, a meal, right? Water. And if you have dietary restrictions, I'm 100% sure that we will have enough options to accommodate your dietary restrictions as well.
That's awesome. So that's a wrap for headlines. When we come forward, we'll have our More Than a Hashtag conversation with our Justice Mom, Sister Arlene Robertson, whose son, DeVery Robertson, was killed by Jefferson Parish County Sheriffs in Louisiana. And we are coming up on his angelversary. So Sister Arlene is our conversation for More Than a Hashtag. Please feel free to call in 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Our More Than a Hashtag conversation is coming up.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. These are hard times for housing in America. Too many in our community face barriers to safe housing, behavioral health care, and affirming spaces for healing, particularly those impacted by poverty and stigma or incarceration. Rooted in South LA, AMAD supports impacted communities through housing, wellness, and leadership development. AMAD provides culturally responsive, peer-led support from transitional housing and mental health services to leadership development and youth empowerment. They offer safe, affirming houses for youth, transgender women, and formerly incarcerated individuals. Therapy and peer support with a focus on healing trauma in Black communities. HIV prevention and care, free testing, education, and wraparound services for whole person wellness. Standing in the gap with health, housing, and hope. Reach out to Ahmad Institute at 323-569-1610. That's 323-569-1610. Or visit amaad.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill on KBLA Talk 1580.
I reminisce. Yeah. I
Reminisce for a spell.
My name is Melina Abdullah, and you're listening to This Is Not a Drill. We're entering our More Than a Hashtag conversation, where we uplift lives that have been stolen by state-sanctioned and white supremacist violence. Today, we're talking about Daviri Robertson, who was killed in March of 2019 by Jefferson Parish sheriff's deputies in Louisiana in the parking lot of an IHOP. His mother, Sister Arlene Robertson, is part of our Justice Moms, and we're grateful to have her joining us this morning. Welcome to This Is Not a Drill, Sister Arlene.
Welcome.
You there? I don't see her on camera. So prayerfully, she's coming back. Sister Arlene Robertson is also, we have to remember that we're talking about our people. And
Right.
Sister Arlene Robertson is joining from work. And so she may have had to step away because she's working. I hope that she's going to be rejoining. I'll lift up the story of Daviri Robertson, who was 39 years old. And he was doing what people do. He was in an IHOP parking lot, and I think we lost Sister Arlene. Okay. He was in an IHOP parking lot with his friend, and Jefferson Parish County Sheriff's deputies came and stole his life, shooting both him and his friend, who was 36 years old when he was killed. What's really, really terrible and is the norm, and that they stole these two black men's lives. The Jefferson Parish Sheriff's officers, deputies, stole these two black men's lives. Their names are Chris Joseph and Daviri Robertson. And of course, what happens is what always happens, that they were not held accountable. They were not prosecuted. In fact, the district attorney, Paul Connick, which we see way too often, is in bed with the police and chose in 2024 to file a no bill. That means that they're going to not prosecute. They're not going to move forward the case against Chris Joseph, against the murderers of Chris Joseph and Daviri Robertson. Good. We got Sister Arlene back. Sister Arlene, thank you for being with us. We know you're at work, and we're grateful that you're finding space to be on. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Daviri, your son, Daviri Robertson? Can you hear me okay? Sister Arlene, can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me?
Can hear.
You can't hear? We can hear you. Can you tell us about your son? Who is Daviri Robertson? Okay. Who is Daviri Robertson, Sister Arlene? Let me see if I take this mute off, if she can hear me. Sister Arlene, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, we're going to see if we can get some of the tech issues worked out. Still can't hear. Okay. All right. So we know that in 2024, Jefferson Parish District Attorney's Office chose not to pursue criminal charges. And we see the same trend happening all around the country. And when we get Sister Arlene in, we'll have her tell the story of her son. But all around the country, we see district attorneys like Nathan Hochman here in Los Angeles, like the district attorney in Ohio, who is in bed, literally wrote an article about why police shouldn't be prosecuted, but he's in charge of prosecuting the murderer of Frank Tyson. Nathan Hochman, literally supposed to be on the side of the victim, but if the victim was killed by the police, they choose not to file charges. Same thing with Jalen Randall in Houston, Texas. The district attorney filed a no bill, so they're not even pursuing charges. So it's not just a matter of, not being able to get a conviction, the district attorney's offices are refusing to even file or pursue the charges. And this just shows why we have the chant, Tandiwe, right? That we rise up, resist, no more killer cops or jails. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Yep.
That the district attorneys, the killer police, the politicians are all in bed together.
Yeah.
Right?
I
It's
don't
a
know how
cabal.
we
I've never
can,
used that word before.
I feel like for some reason people have a better time visualizing like just how insidious and wound up these institutions are when it comes to other places like Israel, for example, and how AIPAC really influences kind of everything. That's homegrown as well.
They got their model.
Yeah.
From the U.S.
Right. The way that the Police Protective League and police quote-unquote unions, because they don't really work like unions aren't the mafia. They don't get to go and influence your whole structure of governance. But the police protective leagues and the police associations, they do that.
That's right.
They are influencing every court ruling, every person in these positions, people who get elected, right? Their money from their donations that they give is super important for whether you get elected or not, right?
Did I talk to you about this? Like literally when we say in bed together, Nathan Hochman, who's the district attorney of Los Angeles.
I felt like I heard some irony there. What's that?
Huh?
What are you going to say?
His brother is the lead fundraiser for ALADS, the Association of Los Angeles Deputy Sheriffs. So when you talk about police associations and how they're all wound up together, they are. These are two brothers. David Hochman is the head of the fundraising body for ALADS.
Wow.
And guess who funded Nathan Hochman's election campaign? ALADS.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Sister Arlene, you're back. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
I have a few minutes, but I'd love for you to get into the story. Can you tell us who is Daviri Robertson?
Daviri Robertson is my third son. He had 4 children, and he was killed in Jefferson Parish by I guess it was the deputies.
And Sister Arlene, we know, and what we were talking about when you couldn't hear us, we were talking about the district attorney's refusal to pursue charges against the sheriff's deputies who killed Daviri. Can you tell us what happened? I know it was he and his friend Chris that were both killed in an IHOP parking lot.
Right,
what happened?
Oh, can you hear me? Okay, so he and his friend went to IHOP in West, it's like across the river from New Orleans in Jefferson Parish. They were in the parking lot. And as they drove up, they parked, and then they were ambushed by 2 F-150s, one behind the car and one on the driver's side. They claimed that they gave them prompts to exit the vehicle. But I'm sure they didn't hear because it was like 10:30 at night. And when they showed us the video 3 years later, you can see that it happened so fast. And for them to lie and say they kept giving them prompts to get out of the car, that was a lie from what I saw in the video. But anyways, they say Chris backed the car up, put it in reverse. But when they pulled up, you can see the lights were still on his car, like if they just had pulled up on the video. And as soon as they pulled up, the cars came from around the left and blocked them in. So they jumped out and started shooting as soon as it was so fast. It was really fast. And Daviri was
in trucks, not in police cars, right?
unmarked, yes, unmarked F-150s, and they were plain dressed. And they say they announced who they were.
Think,
They,
yeah.
their badges was like down below their waist. So I don't know if they seen their badge. It was late at night, and it was parked exactly in front of our house where people were eating. That's why I don't understand why some people don't like to come up and say anything, but there were people in the window eating. Like their lives was in jeopardy. They had also had a girl in a car with her children on the side of them, and they had to ask, "Can they move?" But we cannot find the girl. Um, I keep posting the video on my page and stuff, asking everybody to post it. A couple of weeks ago, my daughter told me she thought she told me that somebody say they knew the girl. So they went looking for it. From what he said, they can't even find that. Like if somebody, every time somebody says something about it, they remove it. You can't go back and find it. So,
Arlene, we have just about a minute. You're having an angel versary gathering for your son. How do people support you, and what can they do to lift up his name and struggle for justice in his name? What's your
okay, so the event is here in Houston. The 27th is the date of his anniversary. That's a Friday. We're having a candlelight at 7 o'clock at Nola Daiquiri in Houston. And I'm asking people to come out or to come. I know people everywhere, they're so far you are for that. But then the next day on the 28th, we're having a Western sip and dip. This is the second year, and I'm going to do it every year. So I'm asking people if they cannot attend to post it on their all their sites, and if they can send a donation, because we did lose uh, the criminal and the civil case, but I'm still fighting. I'm trying to find more evidence so I can get it back open, so they can, you know. That's why I'm giving the fundraiser.
So, Sister Arlene, we'll make sure we post on BLM Grassroots, and we love you, and we say his name, Daviri Robertson.
Daviri Robertson.
Okay, Daviri Robertson and
Ashe.
so
Thank you so much, Sister Arlene. When we come forward, we have John Parker and Cameron Hurt talking about why it is no war on Iran right here on This Is Not a Drill.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Sister Arlene, I'm sorry we ran out of time. We'll make sure we post, okay?
Okay, so you can put my phone number for Zelle. They can send the donations to Zelle at my name, Arlene Robertson, with my phone number.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Arlene.
Thank
and
you
you
so
should
much.
be getting a donation from us, from BLM Grassroots. You'll get a donation from us too, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay.
I wish
Take
I could
care.
see you and hug your pretty face.
Same here. If it weren't that date, I would try to come down and be with you. You know, my family's from down there, so.
I know.
Yeah. You know what? I'll see if they can come. Maybe they can drive up to Houston.
Yeah, that'll be good. And tell them to let them know who they,
Yeah.
they're your family.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Love you, sis.
I need people to stand with me as well, not just donations is good, but I need bodies.
Yes. I'll do what I can to get folks out, okay?
Appreciate you. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Appreciate you. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
It's so interesting, like how similar her accent is to like a Nola.
Hey.
KBLA.
Good to see you,
How
Bo.
doing? All right, good.
Cam, you cut your hair?
I cut all of them. That's right.
Yeah.
For now, I'm rocking the wave.
You look super young.
That's what I've heard. Through 30 at least.
John, you out in Baltimore?
Out in Baltimore, we're getting ready to do a car caravan to New York to go to the detention center where Maduro and Flores are being held. So we stopped in Philly to do a little protest here. I'll show you all the stuff that's going on here. So everything's happening.
That's great.
I'll,
That's
I'll
great.
get to
Thank
a
you for
quiet
being
place
here.
now. Yeah.
Cam, are you part of this? There's a demonstration today at 2. Are you participating in that?
Yes, we'll be there.
Okay,
Definitely.
so
2 p.m. at City
let's
Hall.
also announce that so people can come out.
Most definitely. Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to ask both of you to kind of ground us in what's going on. I think for a lot of Black people, or for a lot of people, it's a very complicated thing, right? Especially when, oh wait, we're back.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is real.
This is not a drill right here on KBLA Talk 1580. We are diving into our main conversation. My name is Melina Abdullah. Actually, before we go to John Parker and Cameron Hurt, I want to remind you, we're going to talk about something that's heavy, but we want to remind you that next Sunday will not be heavy. Next Sunday is light, that this is Black Women Are Divine Month. Even in the midst of struggle, even in the midst of crisis, especially maybe in the midst of crisis, let's not forget our own divinity. Let's uplift Black women's divinity. And so we ask you to join us next Sunday in the park, 11 to 4. We'll be at Norman Houston Park on La Brea and Stocker. You're welcome to join. Black women, come get loved on. You can't pay for nothing, and you can't do no work. Brothers and people who are not Black women, come and work, volunteer, set up some chairs, bring some flowers, right? Serve some food. You can do that. But Black women, this is going to be your time to be loved on. And we still struggling though. So,
right.
You know, we're still
Gotta lock
struggling.
in.
We're still struggling. So we ain't sitting nothing out. And maybe that's the connection, that Black women have never sat anything out. Black women have always stood for justice. And that means global justice. That means understanding our place in the world. That means understanding this country as absolutely an imperialist regime. Right. That means understanding, I think for a lot of folks, we don't, I don't, and I study this stuff. I don't fully understand what's happening in Iran, and I know that the politics are really complicated. But I do know, like, my spirit tells me bombing a girl's school is wrong.
Right.
Killing 200 people is
Girls,
wrong. Children,
right.
Children is wrong.
That was crazy.
Right.
We think up like that, but it's true.
Right. And so even if you don't understand everything, listen to Spirit when Spirit speaks to you, and God doesn't guide us wrong. And war is wrong. War is evil. My mother didn't like the column that I wrote this week, but it was titled, I Hate the Police. And Tandiwe, you know where that comes from, that there's one man that we are Christian for, Pastor Starsky Wilson. Right? And Pastor Starsky was a guest preacher at Fame last Sunday, and he spoke about holy hate, and how if you are a Christian, you're supposed to hate the things that are against God and love the things that are for God, but equally hate the things that are against God. War and imperialism are against God. Holy hate. So, no war in Iran, because it's against God. So, anyway, I'm saying all that, but I also want to understand more deeply, because I don't understand fully everything that's happening. And I think most people don't understand fully everything that's happening. I know my positioning is no war in Iran, but I want to understand why. and also that you can have more than one evil. People are lifting up some of the things that Iran has done. That does not mean that you bomb children, right? So
we have absolutely no place to be like, well, look at what they're doing.
Right.
If that's the justification to bomb someone, America
should have been bombed.
Yeah,
should have been bombed.
Like,
right.
By now, all of the genocides, all of the wars, like all of the ethnic cleansing, even here on this land, right? The original victims of the U.S. empire, the indigenous people, the enslaved African people, have still not received the justice for that original sin. And so we have no.
You don't get to say that, well, Iran oppresses women, so we're going to bomb women and girls.
To say that, right?
Right. Yeah. Anyway, we have people with us who can help break it down in a way that's digestible. Grateful to have Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation with us, as well as John Parker of the Harriet Tubman Center join us, who are knee-deep in this work. We know that there have been several demonstrations here in Los Angeles. There's one today at 2 o'clock in front of City Hall. I want to start with Cameron Hurt, who's been convening many of these demonstrations. Can you help us just begin to digest what's happening? So help me. I know no war in Iran, but why?
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to be a part of this program today. Good to have you, and good to be here, Melina and Tandiwe. Thanks for inviting us. And I want to say that, it was really great to join you, Dr. Abdullah, on the streets January 30th, where we stood up and said no to the war on the immigrants, no to the war on Black America, no to the war on Venezuela. That was where we were just a month ago, after so many illegal activities that Donald Trump has taken, including kidnapping President Maduro and First Lady Flores. But here we are today, where Trump has really opened the gates of hell across the entire Middle East, and it has the possibility of escalating to real global war in a way that we haven't seen in my lifetime. And with this situation escalating every hour, we see the death tolls have just rose and rose. 1,200 people dead in Iran from these U.S. and Israeli strikes, 200 dead in Lebanon, and even 6 U.S. troops have died from some of the responses. And they say that this is in the name of democracy. Trump says this is about ending a nuclear weapons program, giving the Iranian people freedom through bombs, right? And we can see, once again, this is a war based on lies. I mean, he's trying to destroy a so-called nuclear weapons program, the same weapons program he said he completely obliterated a few months ago. The truth is that Iran posed no threat to the United States in the same way that Iraq posed no threat to the United States. When that was invaded, Vietnam was not trying to attack the United States when it had its own revolution. And in the PSL, we call this what it is, which is a war for the oil companies, not for the American people, not for Black America. It's a war of aggression, an illegal war, whether it's under the US Constitution or the UN Charter, doesn't matter. And, we see that Congress has the authority to stop this war. They at least have the authority to halt it, but they won't do it because they don't want to. That was never in their interests. There are so many people who are actually cheering on what Trump is doing. But that's where we feel that the people need a different answer. And in this case, we need a mass movement, just like we built in the fight against the war on Iraq, against the war on Afghanistan, and against the war on Vietnam, even going back. So that's why we're, bringing everyone together once again. Many organizations have come together already, but today at 2 p.m. at City Hall in Los Angeles, there's going to be an action, as well as a couple more across the region in, I believe, Long Beach and Orange County. So we look forward to seeing people there.
The resistance to war and how often we've had to stand up, and that there's a long history. John Parker, I actually met you years ago before there was a Black Lives Matter. In fact, I was pregnant with you, Tandiwe.
Wow.
And when we were fighting against the war in Iraq.
Yeah.
And John Parker was one of the people who was leading us here in Los Angeles. You are coming from the streets of Baltimore now, and you've been one of our most fearless organizers, anti-war organizers, peace organizers. And can you help us understand this long history of the United States invading countries to build the wealth of corporations? Because that's really what it is.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be on this program, all of you, and that's such a great thing with your daughter here as well. Wow. History's Sometimes history is a great thing. Um, in Iran, I've been to Tehran for an emergency conference with the former U.S. Attorney General Ramsey Clark, and it was so amazing about what they say over here and what you see over there are two different things. There's a lot of information of what they're saying is sometimes it cannot be it's going through a filter of U.S. imperialism and the State Department hoping to build a war. So it's hard to know what's really the truth and what isn't. But it's good to get both sides and things like that, which the corporate media doesn't do. But we know that the war is not about nuclear. It's not a war about nuclear weapons. It's not about human rights. It's about one thing that they want. They want its control. Iran sits on the world's second largest natural gas reserves and about the fourth largest oil reserves, and it sits on the Strait of Hormuz, which is where 20% of the world's oil passes through. So control of Iran means you can control over all the global energy supplies. It means that they're able to choke off their rivals like China, their rivals, not our rivals. And it means the ability to enforce the dollar's dominance because all oil has traditionally been traded in dollars. So this has been going on for over 70 years, this campaign. And it started in 1953 when the CIA overthrew Iran's democratically elected prime minister because he dared to nationalize his own oil. And then the U.S. installed the Shah, a very brutal dictator who ruled for 26 years with U.S. support. And they're trying to bring back his son. um, and the Iranians overthrew him. Talking about rights and rights for women and things. The worst one was the Shah, with torture and all these things. And but in 1979, they overthrew him. But since then, it's been nonstop with the wars and the sanctions and the cyber wars and all the things that they're doing. Generals that have been killed in Iran by the U.S. And the goal has always been regime change. But what's changing is China and Russia and the UAE even are building trade routes with Iran that bypass U.S. control entirely. And they're trading in oil and rupees and wands and dirhams, but not dollars. And they're building railroads and ports that connect to the new Silk roads and creating a land bridge from Asia to Europe that avoids U.S. naval power. So that's the big threat, and that's why this war is going on, and why they're stealing all the money that we need for basic needs, healthcare, food, housing, all that kind of stuff is stolen from us day in, day out, and because they gotta support these wars. And while they're supporting you, it's funny that every time they even just talk about bombing Iran or something, the profits of the military-industrial complex, they always go up on Wall Street. Yeah, so this war is making lots of money for them and taking it from us, and that's why we have to, we got to say no to this. And we see at the same time they're using ICE to terrorize us with fascism. They got Trump talking about the Monroe Doctrine in Latin America, and Iran, and Trump saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna choose the leaders." It's the clothes are off. We know what they're doing. We know what they are. It's about oil. It's about their profits, and white supremacy is the way they're really trying to do this. It's really interesting that all the stuff we're talking about, and unfortunately, all the people, the state governments, the police, and all that are so complicit in all of this kind of stuff, which is why we gotta get rid of the military, and yeah, we gotta get rid of the police too. And I know people say, "Hey, police, we need them for safety," and we do. You're right, but let's get rid of these police and put a community grouping or folks we can trust to protect us. Not these folk who collaborate with ICE and do all these kinds of things, but they just don't have. And when you see Epstein stuff and all this stuff that they're doing, is coming into the eyes of people. We can see their morality, the decadence, the lack of morality and humanity. And so I think more and more people, and thanks to this program and other things, getting the message out that we're going to say we're not going to tolerate the folks, a lot of them in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, we're not going to tolerate that. We're going to get an alternative, and that's what I'm hoping to do.
I do want to talk about, I keep saying to myself, this is theft. This is a robbery.
Yeah.
This is the greatest theft of public resources for private profit that we've seen in this country's history. They are stealing from you. They are stealing from you so that they can fund these corporations. That's what's happening. I'd love to drill down into that. I also want to talk about the relationship between the United States and Israel, because this is kind of a joint effort. And I think that people don't quite understand what's happening, that you have people who are elected to represent, to be U.S. representatives saying, I'm sure you all have seen these clips, is it Israel first or U.S. first? And they're actually saying Israel first, that you had somebody wearing an Israeli military outfit.
Wow.
A Congress member. How is this not treason, right?
We've
How
been
is it?
accused of treason for far less.
Right. So anyway, more with John Parker of the Harriet Tubman Center and Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation. When we come forward, you're invited into the conversation. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. More when we come forward.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
So I'm raising
believe
the
how-
questions that I have because I am getting understanding. But if there's something that we're missing, please feel free to. But those are the two questions that I think are. I think a lot of people need illuminated, including me. So if there's details that you want to offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. At the heart of the Al Wooten Center's mission for good citizenship and academic excellence is a desire to ensure that every student avoids the kind of lifestyle and overcomes the kinds of challenges that led to the murder of Al Wooten Jr. In 1990, founder Myrtle Fay Rumpf opened the center in honor of her son's life. In 2026, they are serving more than 300 students in grades 3 through 12 annually online and on site at their youth center and other sites in the South LA area. The Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center takes a neighborhood approach to the revitalization and empowerment of a community in crisis. The Wooten Center provides free after-school and summer programs to help students in grades 3 through 12 attain grade-level proficiency and promotion, high school graduation, and college and career access and success. The Al Wooten Center focuses on academics, STEM, the arts, and so much more. Join them for an enriching experience that sparks creativity and nurtures young minds. Tap in at WootenCenter.org. That's WootenCenter.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
BLM's This Is Not a Drill continues right now.
Believe you, cause we the people are still here in the rear, yo, we don't need you. You ain't a killing off good young move. When we get hungry, we eat the same food, the ramen noodle. This simple voodoo is so maniacal, reliable to pull a juju. The irony is that this bad in my lab, she don't tell me she make money, she don't study that.
My name is Melina Abdullah, and you're listening to This Is Not a Drill. I'm in studio with Tandiwe Abdullah, and we are on with John Parker of the Harriet Tubman Center and Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation. You're welcome to call in as we have this conversation about no war on Iran and why it's no war on Iran, no endless war, no war for... I still have the flag from when we were marching around and protesting against the war in Iraq that says no blood for oil. I got that from you, Brother John, 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And so why we have to be a part of this disruption, why it's important for Black people to be a part of this disruption. You're welcome into the conversation at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And Mikael is calling in on line 1. Well, we got Brother Mikael. Good to hear your voice.
This is Mikael, the Hebrew Israelite. I have to say this war is prophesied. We've been in slavery for 400 years in this country, that country, all over the world. So it's getting close to time we will be going back home. Israel is we are the Israelites. It says all through the scriptures that the Israelites are blackened to the ground. So I'm letting you know this is going to get worse. I don't know if it stop and repeat until the time comes. From the Nile to the Euphrates, it belongs to us because we are second-class citizens. We've been here, even though the indigenous blacks was already here, another tribe of Israel, but we are going back home in the near future. It's going to be a war. Probably 500 million people might die, or 3/4 or 2/4 of it. I mean, less. But we're the Israelites. We're the real people. They went over there in 1948 to claim that area and took it from somebody. We're going to have to go back and rebuild it, and we're going to be free. But right now, we're still in captivity here in America, second-class citizens. From what amendment was that? The First or Second Amendment? The First Amendment. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. But Israel belongs to the Negroes. We are the children of Israel.
Thank you for that, Brother Mikael. I hope you're well. And we are going to, in a moment, get into the conversation about the religious arguments and this whole idea of there's all kinds of stuff coming out about how they want this war, how Israel and the U.S. are going to hasten the second coming of Christ.
They used the word crusade in a press briefing yesterday. And I think that's really important to highlight. But let's get back to our guests, because I think we're going to have to lose Mr. Parker in a second.
Okay. So, John, I wanted to talk about, so I raised this as we were moving into break, what you mentioned about that this is a war for oil. Can you talk about why would the U.S. and Israel, because they're teaming up on this one, right? Why would they be going to war and spending all of these billions of dollars? They're not that much of, they're not humanitarians, right? Because right. So it's not about freeing the women of Iran. Mm-hmm. Why would they be going to why would they be going to war for oil? What's the history of that, and what does that mean in terms of our dollars, our tax base, those public dollars, and line in the pockets of rich white corporations?
Yeah. It's kind of a little bit of a repeat of history with the U.S., with the UK, with Britain and things like that. When after World War II, their economy was going down, and although they still had a military might, their economy was going down, and they were desperate. They didn't know what to do, so they tried to use the military thing, but that didn't work. But they were lucky that the U.S. bailed them out. But that's not going to happen now. There's nobody to bail the U.S. right now in the economic problems that the U.S. is having. If you look at the gross domestic product, um, there's more things that are being produced now in China and other places than there were here. And the only way they can make money now is from gambling on Wall Street, financialization, these kinds of things. And when that doesn't work, they got to go to war. And their main competitor are like Russia, China, and other places. And that's a real threat for them because they put profits above the needs of humanity. And so if they can't get those profits, they're going to do whatever they do. And usually it's a little more subtle, but now we see they're just going after Venezuela's oil. They're going after Cuba. They're going after Iran. They're going out. And now they're saying they're going to go after Latin America. And it's all about that they want to make their profits, and they're going to take it from us, and they're going to take it from other folks to steal it. And so that's the motivation of what they're doing. And it's and we know that things are so clear right now. The things that Israel is doing, even the United Nations is saying now that Israel is it's an act of extermination, genocide that they're doing right now, and that they've been doing for so long. You look at Gaza, and I cry every time I look at what the heck is going on in Gaza, what the Israelis are doing with the bombs of the U.S. And the thing that's really terrible is the complicity and the collaboration of these folks. Even and you know what? They spend more money. They spend about $4 or $5 million on $5 million on the congressional black congressional forces like Jeffrey Hakeem Jeffries. He got $1.3 million from 1990 to now. So they get that APAC money from Israel, and that's why they're being quiet. That's why they're being complicit. They even told he was telling people in the State of the Union address when Rashid was there, Omar was there, and he told them, no, be quiet. You got to be quiet, and that's why he's saying be quiet. But they weren't quiet anyway. But that's the reason this is going on, and it's not going to stop unless we, you know, build that movement.
I know we're going to lose you, Brother John, because you're headed up to New York for a demonstration around Maduro. Because remember, there's oil in Venezuela too. Right? So we're going to talk more with Brother Cameron when we come forward. I'd love for you, Brother Cam, to just kind of what did they say? Close that loop. That loop on, because the question that comes is why would the U.S. government, when we say profits for them, but the government's not supposed to be profiting, what do you mean for them, right? Profits for who, and what does that have to do with government, right? I'd love for you to close that loop when we come forward right here on This Is Not a Drill. Also, still taking calls, 800-920-1580. More to come.
BLM. This Is Not a Drill continues when we come forward.
I'm Tammy Eswick with BIN News Now. We start with the war between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. The bodies.
John, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much for letting me get on there. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank
there was
you
a lot
for
of
making
traffic.
time.
Oh, no.
Wishing you safe travels. Y'all know each other, right?
Yeah. Keep it up, John. That's good.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't put in my commercial about we're struggle for socialism party. They ain't the only socialist party now. Come on. I'm ready to fight. No, we're ready to work together. We got to work together. But I didn't say that I'm also running for Congress this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't get my 37th district against with my friend Kamala.
Oh, it's Kamlager's district.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. She had these bills that were against Israel, and every time you talk about Palestine, she says, "Oh, we got to support Israel." So, and she's getting that APAC money too. So we're gonna highlight that.
Yeah. Well, I voted for you, and every time you run, I voted for you.
Oh, thank you. I voted for you too. Yep.
Thank you.
So hopefully we talk together, get some. There's a lot of other stuff going on too, and but we can get together and talk about that.
Okay, looking forward to talking when you get back.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Peace.
Take care.
Tandiwe. That is true. But thank you. Thank you.
His
for being
son
there.
was little. You weren't born. Yeah, when we met. Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah. But yeah. You got the beauty and the brains. It's a DNA thing, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I'll see y'all.
See you.
Raquel Graham, Angelique Francis, Tasha Thomas, Dr. Shalonda Crawford, Dion Raymond, and a couple of special guest hosts for the day that we'll be announcing soon. This is Women's History Month, and we're not just celebrating it, we're amplifying it. Join us Friday, March 27th on KBLA Talk 1580, where women take over all day, all night. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 and all of our socials for the rundown. You don't want to miss a single word. And happy Women's History Month from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
So my ladies,
I sure know how to work that.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Created with a share of the 1984 Olympic Games surplus, LA 84 began operations in 1985 as a grant-making and educational foundation. Today, the LA 84 Foundation supports hundreds of nonprofit youth sports organizations throughout Southern California annually, trains coaches, commissions research, convenes conferences, and maintains the world's premier Olympic and sports library collection. They are transforming lives and communities through the power of youth sports. To find out about youth sports programs for yourself or your child, and to get information about the grants and support they offer to schools and nonprofits, or if you want to make a donation, please visit la84.org. That's la84.org. Or you can call them at 323-730-4600. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
All the women who independent, throw your hands up at me.
This March, we're turning up the volume on the women who changed everything. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to celebrate Women's History Month, honoring the trailblazers, truth tellers, and game changers who shaped our world, our culture, and our community. From the freedom fighters to the firsts, from the boardroom to the front lines, from the unsung to the unforgettable, all month long, we're celebrating the stories, the voices, and the conversations that remind us that women, Black women, have always led the way. Don't miss a moment. This is our moment. This is our story. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580, Los Angeles' home for the conversations that matter.
I'm your girl, you're my girl, we're your girls. Won't you know that we love you?
Unapologetically progressive, unapologetically black. More now, BLM's This Is Not a Drill.
I'm African, living in American. I got plans, I'ma take them to another land. To Afghanistan, or maybe Pakistan. Or like the gospel song, take me down to Egypt land. I'm an African, living in American. I got plans, I'ma take them to another land. Maybe China or Japan, get a chance. I wonder if they ever met a proud black man.
One day I took a journey, I was looking for emotion. Something to reunite my soul with my culture. Provide solidarity, I say Asante. Thankful the creator won't let me get in my
That's
way.
Saeed? What's up, Saeed? Are you listening? That's our folks. That's my
I'm gonna tell him to go back and listen to this episode.
Yeah, I know he's not up to this episode.
Yeah, but he should.
He should listen to it. Yes. All right. We are talking about no war in Iran with Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation. We're wishing John Parker traveling grace as he heads up to New York to demonstrate outside of where Maduro is being held. So we're grateful for that. Before we get back to you, Cam, we do have a call. Lynette is calling in on line 1. What we got, Sister Lynette?
Good morning, kings and queens. Reparations in memory of our ancestors, and we know that the struggle continues, but always to God be the glory. We've got a situation here that they knew that there was no nuclear threat to going into Iran, and what it was is even before Trump got back into office, he had already made some deals with Saudi Arabia, UAE, and they gave him a big old plane and, took care of Jared Kushner and them and gave him all this money, to fight with Iran, because Iran and Saudi Arabia and them don't get along. And then the Zionist Jews had they put in as well, and all Jews ain't Zionists, as we know. So here we are with this. They already had a little deal. This is a Monuments Clause violation. Plus the fact that America, like Dr. King said, is the biggest purveyor of war in the world. And we have a military-industrial complex that takes up half of our budget. And a lot of times the Pentagon has failed audits, according to GAO, several of them. And DHS has failed them as well. But yet we always give the money away. And as Tupac would say, we have money for wars, but won't feed the poor. And, and God rest his soul, Reverend Jesse Jackson, he was the one that was standing against this whole machinery. I mean, because you don't see a lot of our leaders that are trying to make peace, trying to get, Barack Obama tried a little bit, a former president, but you just don't see it because they all get their money from, like you say, APAC. They're getting their money from the defense industry. And now we've got these oligarchy bros that are in on the deals with the defense industry, like Amazon. They got a contract with Israel for surveillance of Palestine right now. So you got all these so-called tech companies are in on it with getting in with this military money, and we're making their money off of war. Now you got Russia and you got China. Now they want to sell arms to Iran. Everybody's making money. You know what I'm saying? We got to take the purse away from them. Right now, we got a budget, and we need to make them know we don't want no more money going to of our money going to war in that budget, and we don't want any money going to DHS. We need to ask them to abolish ICE, which is HR 7123. Excuse me. We don't need it. They already got $75 billion. We need that money right here for affordability. We got too many people that need health care, need housing. It's unexcusable. And then we got an early vote and mail-in vote right now. Register people right now because they want to take away our votes.
Thank you, Sister Lynette. I agree with a lot of that, and that we have to take more action. I've been saying for a long time, why do we advance pay our taxes? We advance pay our taxes with we don't even get interest on the money we letting them hold for us. We advance pay our taxes. It's not illegal to say I'll pay my taxes when they're due. Why am I advance paying my taxes? They're using not only our tax base, but our advance paid tax base in order to exact these wars that steal money from us that should be used to provide universal housing, universal health care, child care, all of these things that they're now calling affordability, which we could also talk about why people are so scared of the word socialism.
Right, I was going to say.
But if that's what you want to call it, I don't really care what you call it as long as we get it. right?
Honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, Cam, I'd love for you to pick up on that. And then there are a couple of things that we have to get to. So don't let me forget, Tandiwe. All up in the chat, people are saying, but why should black people care about it? I think we're getting to some of it. Black people, we should care about it because you ain't going to get reparations. We ain't going to get reparations ever if they continue to spend trillions of dollars. With 1 year of the Pentagon budget, they could pay reparations.
Yep.
Right? But they say they can't do it because it's not affordable. It's affordable if you stop stealing and stop bombing girls and stop then it's affordable.
And the world would be a better place.
And the world would be a better place if black people had reparations, if indigenous people had their land back, and we stopped plaguing, or they stopped with this imperialist violence that's plaguing the world and stealing the world's resources for the purposes of white man's profit. Anyway, Cameron, that wasn't supposed to be what I say. That's supposed to be what you say. So what you got to say?
Well, I think you said it really well. I mean, we are in a 24-hour, 365 days a year, nonstop system of theft, just like you were saying. And that system has a name. It's U.S. capitalism, imperialism, and racism. And you know, Trump happens to be a great criminal to lead that kind of criminal system because he's a criminal to his bones in the worst way, worse than any gang, worse than any mob. You know, Donald Trump is someone who is a good representative of these corrupt executives. That's why they chose him. That's why they keep backing him. That's why they keep putting billions behind him. And the way that Trump, these white supremacists, these imperialists, these warmongers, the way they think is like, you know, that oil happens to be under Iran or it happens to be under Venezuela, but it belongs to us. And connecting back to what Tandiwe said about, you know, some of the original crimes that were made right here in the United States, you know, the theft of indigenous land, the enslavement of black people, it all goes to show that they have no problem seizing the entire world. That's what they want, is an entire world that is behind the United States, where all resistance has been squashed. And that, I think, is why us in the belly of the beast, black people in the belly of the beast, have a particular role in bringing down this imperial system, because we have always rose up. You know, there's not been one moment where there hasn't been black resistance, black rebellion, and now is one of those critical moments. I'll come back to that, but I just want to center us on the fact that Donald Trump today, he said Iran will be hit very hard once again. And let's talk about what that has looked like. We talked about the little girls and the staff, over 160 people killed by the strike on a girls' school. And when I think of that heinous type of atrocity, it hurts you in your heart. It takes me back to the KKK bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church back in September 1963, because it shows me that white supremacy is never worried about killing children. In fact, white supremacy has benefited when they kill children, when they enslave children, when they put children into factories and mines and whatever they need to in order to make those profits. And I think there's two authors, probably among many, at the New York Times who should be very ashamed. Their names were Malachi Brown and Aaron Boxerman. But in the New York Times today, they basically are putting out headlines that say, you know, the school building was severely damaged by a precision strike that occurred at the same time as attacks on an adjacent naval base. What kind of word salad is that? You know, it's intended to confuse you. It's intended to make you go to sleep because it's poorly written. But it's trying to say, well, there was a base allegedly nearby this school. Therefore, oh, well, you know, and I think that's the type of callousness that people are getting sick and tired of. Going back to this point about theft, I mean, the big, beautiful bill, all of this move to increase the war budget, $1 trillion goes toward the Pentagon's war machine each year. While we have schools closing in Inglewood, we have schools closing across this country, in black communities in particular. And it's such a waste of resources, of energy, of life, when we have working families struggling to make ends meet, to pay rent, to afford groceries, to go to the doctor. Imagine if instead of death and destruction, we put that money into healthcare, education, housing, reparations, and community programs. And as we talk about this brutality, I appreciate that John Parker brought up, you know, the CIA coup in 1953, where they overthrew the democratically elected prime minister of Iran. Why? Because he dared to say that the Iranian oil belongs to the Iranian people. The United States corporations hate that. They will overthrow a country if you say that your resources are your own. But I actually want to bring us forward a bit to 1988. This is after the Shah of Iran has been overthrown, and now it's the Islamic Republic. The United States, under President Ronald Reagan, shot down an Iranian airliner with civilians, 290 civilians on it. Ronald Reagan never apologized. George H.W. Bush, as vice president, right after said, "I'll never apologize for the United States of America, ever. I don't care what the facts are." This is the way that they talk about us, to be frank. You know, the fact that they could kill 290 civilians in a brazen attack and then just say, "I don't care." You know, immediately my humanity is activated. And I see that. They look at me with the same disregard as they looked at those 290 people who were shot out of the sky for no reason other than the fact that the United States needs that oil, wants that oil, and doesn't care what it has to kill in order to get there. So I'm really thinking that it's important that we do talk about how this is connected to our issues right here at home, the issues of Black people. And there's more on that, but I'll pass it back to you.
Pick that up when we come forward. We want to get to those connections and then also get to what can we do, what should we be doing. More with Cameron Hurt on the party from the Party of for Socialism and Liberation, and Tandiwe Abdullah is going to jump in when we come forward on This Is Not a Drill.
More of BLM's This Is Not a Drill. Up next, we got a lot to talk about.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program.
Last segment. But that's all right. I'm
ready.
I'm guest hosting on KPFK over the next couple of weeks. So maybe we can get you on there too.
That would be cool. Yeah. And I'm happy to jump into the Black connection right after this.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Medicare. Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money. Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. 10 Toes In serves as a mentorship and domestic violence prevention program. They support, educate, and empower couples during and after incarceration. They assist male returning citizens to re-enter society successfully and to help them maintain a healthy relationship with their romantic partner. They offer a mentorship support group for formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In teaches its Intimate Relationships 101 curriculum at male prisons throughout the state of California. They host sister support group meetings for women who are intimately involved with incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To access their services or make a donation, please visit them online at 10toesin.org or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They are healing lives through relationships. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back to BLM's This Is Not a Drill, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
All seven and we'll watch them fall. They stand in the way of love and we will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. No one in the whole universe will ever compare. I am yours now and you are mine, and together we'll love through all space and time, so don't cry. One day all seven will die.
Yes, that is how you get into the end of a show. And it's a reminder that one day all of the 7 deadly sins will die. That's Prince, of course, and doing it in only the way he can do, right? Only Prince can say it that way. That was your bedtime song, Tandiwe.
Oh gosh,
I'm telling all your business.
So
telling all your business. But that's what we sang before you went to sleep, right?
Oh my! How long are we gonna stay on this? I agree. I know.
Okay. We're coming forward talking about no war on Iran. Grateful to have Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation with us. And we were moving into this conversation about blackness and why black people should be involved in anti-war work, especially around what's happening in Iran, but also Venezuela and what's happening worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go to you.
Made me think, actually. He was talking about how the U.S. and Israel and their campaign against Iran, they're making all these excuses as to why they're justified to murder and to kill. It makes me think about the ongoing genocide of black people in America, which I do think it's genocidal. Yeah. We see that every day. Every time there's a new police killing, every time there's an execution, some human rights violation, for some reason we deserve to die, right? In those situations, there's always some
like
sort
DeVere and Chris, right?
Right.
They were going to IHOP.
They will find any excuse, right? I'm even thinking of Keisha Michael and Mark Quentin Sandlin, right?
Right.
Sleeping in their car, somehow, some way. Breonna Taylor, right? There's all these excuses and narratives that are crafted as to why the state has to persecute our people, has to murder and assassinate our people in cold blood, right? And so when we, as black people, are looking at the imperialism that the U.S. is doing in other countries, how can we not see ourselves in that, right? I think it gets a little bit more touchy for folks because the military, right? And we know how the military is predatory to specifically poor black folks, right? Mm-hmm. Who want to go to college, who want housing, who want some sort of stability. Folks down south, they always say, marry into a military family for some stability, right? I think it's time we challenge that. I'm sorry. I think it's time that we...
You know what I'm not saying to them? Thank you for your service.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I'm saying
not.
You're a sellout.
Yes, and I get maybe you felt like you didn't have any other option.
But now look at where your behind is.
But
fighting an imperialist war for a country that will shoot you dead in your hometown. They would do that to you. And so I think it's honestly, it's number one, a major contradiction to hold that kind of position, whether it's in the military or if it's a cop, fighting that war against your people at home, right? But it's also so just wrong.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Let's get Cameron in these last few minutes on this.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what I see and the way I look at it is that Trump's war is really not just on one country, it's on the entire world, including the people of this country. We talked about he kidnapped the president of Venezuela and the first lady. He assassinated the leader of Iran. He said Cuba's going to fall pretty soon, which is a signal that could be the next attack. He's attacked DEI. He always defends the killer cops. He backs the police. And even if he doesn't call it this, that's a war on black people. And then we know he's brought in military forces, federal agents into our cities, and the people fought back. The people stood up, including the nationwide shutdown on January 30th, which was incredibly powerful. We're also going to be back out at 2 p.m. at City Hall today to say no war on Iran, no blood for oil. And when it comes to Black America and, this war that's going on right now, I actually want to cite something. I saw a pretty interesting poll from The Economist and YouGov, and it was asking people, would you support military intervention to overthrow the government of Iran? And I know polls, you can trust them, but you can also take them with a grain of salt. But what the results showed was 60% of black people are opposed to this war. 44% of black people strongly oppose. As far as support for the war goes, only 7% of black people were recorded as supporting overthrowing Iran, compared to 37% of white people. Now, I think that raises a really interesting, different question. We're the most anti-war population in a way, at least out of the groups that are listed there. And that's been a historically pretty accurate thing. So why do so many Black people oppose the war in Iran? And I think back to, somebody referenced the Tupac line. I think about the way that anti-war resistance was even baked into the culture and the songs my mom was teaching me. The Temptations, who sang in 1969, "War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing." Marvin Gaye 2 years later, "War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate." Those are both Vietnam War references, right? But also Tupac, "They got money for war but can't feed the poor." And that's in the aftermath of the 1992 LA rebellion over the conditions right here in the United States, in Los Angeles, but also it's during the first genocidal war in Iraq called the Gulf War. We could go on and on. I mean, Wu-Tang Clan just posted that they are against this war in Iran, but it's deeper than that. It's like Dr. King said, the bombs that are exploding in Iran are exploding in our own communities, because who always gets the short end of the stick when they take the money from the programs and give them to the military? Who's going to get the worst school closures, the worst books, the biggest class sizes? It's going to be Black people. It's going to be brown people. So I think a big question, to set us forward on the right track too, is what do we need to do to take the passive opposition? There's a lot of opposition already. 60% of people stand against this war, Black people. What do we need to do to transform that into active opposition that actually connects it to the fact that we're fighting for ourselves as we're fighting to end these wars that our government's doing in our name?
Be there at 2:00 today in front of City Hall. You can connect with the Party for Socialism and Liberation on Instagram. You're PSL Los Angeles, right?
That's right.
PSL Los Angeles. You can also come to the Black Lives Matter Los Angeles organizing meeting tomorrow, 7 p.m. at the Center for Black Power, 3423 West 43rd Place. And follow BLM Grassroots on all social media and BLM Los Angeles here in LA. I want to thank Thandiwe Abdullah for co-hosting with me. Thank you, Cameron Hurt of Party for Socialism and Liberation. Thank you, John Parker from the Harriet Tubman Center. Thank you so much to Simeon on the boards and for the great music. Thank you to Tyler for the rundown, Natalie for the flyers, and we will be in these streets. Any last words, Thandiwe? We got 15 seconds.
Thank you to Dr. Abdullah for doing what you do.
And I'm Doc Melly Mel on all social media. I forget to say that sometimes.
Yeah.
Until next week, peace out, y'all. And James Farr is coming up with Altadena Rising. Peace out, y'all.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.